Alright, welcome back. Today we are going to be looking at profile, permission set, and permission set group. Okay, so let's get started. I want to talk about profile in Salesforce, as we once mentioned briefly in um, one of our first classes. We know quite alright that a user cannot exist without a profile. Every user is in a particular type of profile. Now, here I have it defined as a profile. A profile is a group of collection of settings and permission that define what a user can do in Salesforce. Or profile defines what a user can do within Salesforce, controlling access to object fields and other settings. Now, what that simply means, okay, let's do a little recap of what we've done in the previous class. Now, every user has limits to what they can access, what they can view, what they can interact with or use with based on their level in the org. If you understand. So now that is referred to as a profile. Take for instance, the things that the sales team will have access to or see might not be exactly the same thing that the marketing team will have access to. Are you feeling me? And it won't be the same thing as what those in the managerial role will have access to. That's what we mean by profile. Do you understand? So the set of fields, records that each user have access to is referred to as profile. Here we also have it as a profile controls object permission, field user as I've explained, tab settings, app settings, apex, class. Nobody else have all those ones because we are going to get into most of it later on. Okay, a profile, I'm trying to go over it again so that you get it and there's no confusion. A profile is the set of fields, objects the user can have access to. But it can be configured as an admin. You can configure it such that certain set of people are restricted to certain set of information. Or take for instance, these are aspects that I underline here: login hours, IP address. Take for instance, you don't want certain set of users to be able to um, log in within certain period of time. Let me take for instance a sales the sales team now. Okay, let's say let's add that to it. Okay, let's say uh, sales team sales team let's say equals to sales team profile. Sales team profile. Sorry about that. Profile. Let's say we want them to work within the range of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, 9 a.m. to whatever 5 p.m. Okay, so now you can set it such that everybody on that sales team profile, every user will not have access to login except within this range. We're going to go to my Salesforce page and we're going to look at all of this. Let's say marketing team now. Marketing team goes to marketing. Okay, same profile. Let's say they are to run based on one reason or the other. They might need to speak with their clients at 24 in the midnight or whatever. They might need to run for 24 hours. You have configured their profile differently. probably um, you want, maybe you are asked to restrict certain um, countries not to be able to. Okay, let's say for instance, the manager comes to you as the administration and was like, okay, I don't want to have users from um Uganda, or let's say from outside Nigeria. I'm recording from Nigeria right now, so let me use Nigeria for example. I don't want. So as I was saying, I'm recording from Nigeria, so let's say um my manager comes to me now and is like, okay, I don't want to have users from outside Nigeria. Now, what does IP address means? I think that's not a thing for this class, but let me just mention it. IP address is what shows your location. You can, if you go to Google now and say what's my what's my IP address, so it's going to give you what your present IP address. The IP address shows your location. So with the IP address, you have a clue of where you want. So in a situation whereby my network is very slow. All right, so let's get back to what we discussed. So in a situation whereby you're asked to limit the range of where people can log in from, you know that what you're going to work on is the IP range. You understand? So in essence, your profile controls the limit per person. Okay, I'm going to go into my org now, and come in. Let's say, all right. My network is bad. I'm gonna. Okay, so sorry about that. I've restarted my connection back. Okay, so now going to my org now. Let me go. Let me search for profile. Profile. I want to mention something to you also. Imagine one of your users coming to you. Oh, I have an issue. I'm unable to do this. I'm unable to do this due to one reason or the other. Now, do you know you can actually log in into their um their profile as the administrator and kind of check what they're experiencing and everything. Let me show you that. Take for instance, I'll come to profile now. Okay, let's go to login first. Login access process happening. Okay, see now look at this. Administrators can log in as any user. Now I can't log in as any user because this is not enabled. So once I enable this now and save it, if I go to user, user, let's see, good. Now all these ones they are kind of dummy because I'm using a dummy hog. So let me use this. This is John Joy. Okay, so let me log in at this John Joy and let's see. So can you see now? Look at this place. Look, you see, logged in as John Joy. So now I can go to this is not more my page. Do you get? This is not more my profile. I can go through whatever they have here and kind of help them fix any issue. Can you see? And once I'm through, I can easily log out as John Joy. So with that, I'll be back to my own workspace. Exactly. There's something I also want to mention. Okay, before we go further, let me also show you this profile. Let's go to profile profile or to make it clearer what I'm making it, let me create a new object. Let's say create a new custom object. So sorry, let's create it a new field in this account inventory that we once created. So I'm going to field our relationships, new. Let's just put this text. Next. Okay, so let's call this. Let's give this. Let's call it test field. Okay. Remember to always add description. It is a very good practice in text space generally to add the description to whatever you can. So let's call this way. This is just a test to explain profile. Okay, so do you want to require no unique? No. Now let's go to next. Now you're going to see something exactly. Now remember that initially whenever we create um our fields, I always say that okay, all this one just leave it, just leave it, Hey, now this is where it comes to important. This is where it becomes very important. Now you see all these tick, all these checkboxes here. They are okay, we have this one, we have it as uh, visible, read only. What this simply means is if you check anything here as visible, they will be able to be able to see it and edit it. But when you click on read only, when it's read only, that simply means that they will not be able to edit it. They will only be able to read it. She understand if you have read only. But if you leave it as visible, you'll be able to read it and also edit. She understand. So that's what that means. Now you see all these analytics, cloud, blah 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 blah, we have here. All these things are like is where you give restriction to various profile. Take for instance, you want the marketing team to see you want analytics cloud integration user to see this. You want them to see this. You don't want them to see this one, or you don't want this set of users to see this particular field that we are creating in car inventory. So here is where you mark what you want, the set of users you want to see this particular field. Take your time to think over it so you understand what I'm saying. These are various users on this org right now. Do you get? So now this is a new field I am creating. So here is where you select those who should see it and who should not. In addition to that, if you now choose this read only, sorry, that's not what I meant to put. If you now access this read only, attach this read only to it. So you can also make some people who see it, but they cannot edit it, they cannot add any value to it. So that's the essence of this other side. I hope you get that now. So that's what profiling is all about. So that now take us to the next thing now. Permission set. Okay, permission set and permission set group. Don't get confused. Now I want to talk about permission set. Permission set is a tool that helps us give the user a collection and access beyond what their profile can give them, or permission set extend a user's access without changing their profile. They are flexible and allow specific permissions to be added. Good. This is a little tricky, but I want you to be careful. Take for instance, you have um let me use a school illustration. Let me use a school illustration here. Um sorry. Let's say we have this box called uh principal. Principal. And let's say we have another set of people called teachers. Teachers. Let's say we still have another set of okay, sorry. Let's say we still have another set of people called, let me bring it down. Let's say we still have another set of people called students. Okay, now you know that all these people will have their own profile in an org. I don't make a mistake. Okay, so let's call this principal um profile. Profile. Principal profile. Okay, and teachers too are going to have theirs. Teachers profile. Sorry about that. Okay, so here also we have students. Students are also going to have their own profile. You know that every one of them like this, they are going to have limitations to what they can see or have access to in the org. Now, teachers are going to have the set of things they are going to see. Students are going to have the set of things they are going to see. Now, based on the level of principal, he can have access to what everybody can see. Do you understand? Exactly. Now, if you now have some certain set of teachers that maybe due to the kind of job they do, let's call them head teachers. Maybe some head teachers now, they also need to have access to what students can see because of their role. Now, let me duplicate this. Okay. Now I'm going to give this a different color. Let me give it yellow. Okay. Head teachers. Let me call them head teachers. You know that this set of head teachers now, they are still on the teacher's profile, but for one reason or the other, they also they need access to student profile so that they can do whatever they need to do to carry out their duties. You understand? Now that's where permission sets come into. Permission set help you to give certain users within a profile access to things that is beyond their profile. At the same time, you can also use it to reduce what they can see too, but let's not make it complicated, but let's just leave it as to improve or to increase their limitation. Hey, let me put it that way. So now, in order to do that, because now it could get complicated in an org whereby you have about 40 different need for permission sets and about like 70 profile. You understand? So that's the permission. Permission set help you give different certain set of users within a profile access beyond their limits. You get? That's what permission set does to filter or to single-handedly pick some people or some users within a profile to give them more access or access beyond their limits. Can you see? I'm trying to repeat this over and over and over again. Do you get? So that's what permission set does. So now we're going to create a permission set for them. Uh, let's do it this way. Let me duplicate this and call this. Let me give it another color. Permission set or head teacher. Head teacher permission set. Okay. So when we give them this permission set, we now assign it to them. That is, what I'm saying is this: we now assign it to those set of users. Do you get that? So now they inside this now take note of one thing. Permission set will always override the settings in the original profile because it's permission set. So whatever you put in permission set allocated to the user will override their original profile settings. You understand? So that's what that is. Okay. Now, if you now still have, I'm trying to build it a little bit bigger than this. If you now still have some set of people, or let's say vice principal. We have vice principal. Let me say vice principal, vice principal, vice principal. Now you want vice principal to have access to the things head teachers have access to. You might not necessarily have every access that the principal do have, but you want him to have access to what the head teachers have access to. She get. So now you can also put um so I'm misbehaving like this now. Okay, okay. Now I'm trying to allocate this to this guy. I'm going to go to the hub now and see it practically. So you see now. Now, if I ask you who and who can see the head teacher's permission set, you tell me the vice principal and the head teachers, right? Um, the students, do they have any access to any other thing apart from their own profile? You tell me no. Can the principal see everything that every other person have access to? You tell me yes. Now let's go to the hub to show that. Okay, of course, everything is being done here on the back end. Let's say permission set. Permission set. Okay. Oh my god, what is this?